Well, my name is Suddhasattwa Basu. I'm primarily a painter, and I have been working for children, illustrating for children and children's book for many years. 2003, this was my first book. This book was written and authored and illustrated by me. And this book, actually I got this idea, not exactly this idea, actually around 2002, a group of painters were discussing what is the meaning of freedom, and it appeared to me that very word absolute freedom is nothing but a myth. It simply doesn't exist. If it exists, it exists in a form of chaos. So absolute freedom is absolute chaos. Even in nature, we don't see absolute freedom. Even in a micro level, we don't see absolute freedom. So where is absolute freedom? And from there came this idea, the idea of this scarecrow and how he was longing for freedom. This is the first where he was really tired. I mean, he said, I have been standing on the same place for many years and I want to be free. And he lives and he goes, I mean, throughout the day he had fun and he goes through all kinds of experiences. End of the day, he feels very nostalgic and he wants to go back the same place where he had been there doing his duty in one sense, and what he sees when he comes back, he sees that all this entire place was devastated by invaders. All those corns are eaten. This whole field was devastated. So that makes him a very determined to stay back and doing the same thing what he has been doing for many years. See, being a visual person, this story, whatever narration comes to me, it comes to me in visual form. So when I was planning this book, doing this thumbnail scribble, before words, actually visuals were coming in my mind, in my imagination, and then I'm fitting few words along with, and I also am very fond of little rhymes. So it has a song actually in it, and in my other stories also, it always has a few lines of poems or rhymes are there, and I like that. I think that is a very unique style. I'm not a poet, but it's a unique thing. Now coming back to the point, that when I was thinking about it, that freedom is basically a myth. Whatever, I mean, this character and that locale, and gradually developed in a total narrative. Well, all illustrations are on paper, so ink, transparent and semi-opaque ink mixed with watercolor. It's a 10 plus. So it has many layers actually. Children, when I interacted with them, I found them they are reading on the surface. A scarecrow, the narrative straight, okay, a story of a scarecrow. But when parents are reading this, they are reading it in between and in a completely different level, completely different layer. That is the purpose. The purpose is to create something which it cannot be. I mean, any creation, it has to have, whether you want or don't want, it has to automatically appears in many layers. Some are intentional, some are happened accidentally, and one is by NBT And that has no storyline, that has only a concept. It says, whatever you give, and that is the title of the book, and the inside there's only one line saying, whatever you give comes back to you. And the entire book is all visual interpretation of the same text. So when this particular book is designed with a certain purpose in mind, saying that when we make a child go through a certain line again and again, and when it is interpreted in many ways visually, then the whole thing remains there in child's subconscious very strongly, and it remains there for a very long time. That is the whole purpose, and we got a very fine feedback on that book. So now I am working more on that kind of book instead of a narrative or a storytelling book. Some books maybe are just a concept and more lines, one line or no line, only pictures, that kind of books.